And today, a cosmetic modification. The crash bars. I don't know why they have to be shiny silver. I mean, the frame is black. Then again, yeah, the rear frame is silver. The white model, they really messed up a little bit, didn't they? I would have made black, black, and definitely black. New bash plate, black. So I'm going to, well, unfortunately don't have stock of this strange sandpaper-like finish or ferro grain. Don't call it ferro grain. Call a spade, it's sandpaper, okay? Call it that. So, these, I'm going to have zinc phosphated. There we go. Mine today, very good in shape. Yes, yes. And then give it a coating of an exterior polyester TGIC because, well, any kids that eat or suck on this paint deserve to die, in a satin or semi-matte. Basically a half gloss. To the formulation I also added a bit of Teflon, so they'll look decent. Disassembly, gentlemen, very easily. You just need to move that cooling pipe up and out of the way. There's one bolt there, one bolt on the engine. Other side, even easier, top and bottom. The bottom though, be careful, there is a spacer between the engine and the crash bars. So best practice when you take this thing off, you put the bolts back gently so you know where everything goes. And then you can maneuver everything forward, and then you have to undo one bolt. Once you slide this rubber protective piece out of the way, I'm gonna give this a nice clean and smear it full of red rubber grease so it'll last a bit longer. All this is basically a heat shield for these two. And mind you, they put a lot of thread locker on here. Not a fan of these bolts though. If you strip these out, I'd rather go for the KTM variants where it's not a button, it's, you know, you can still put a 10mm and a Torx in one, so I'll be swapping these out. And also adding my own thread, I just have to retap them. So, crash bars, and notice anything else? Yeah, I know. Aluminum, aluminum, and aluminum. So I'm gonna take them past the anodizer and get them also murder blacked out. Because I don't know, the whole silver thing, it's a little bit too bling for a bike where you've got black, you've got white, and two-tone colors are always, it looks good, alright? Not a third one. Third one is too much unless you're in a threesome. And even then, don't get me started. That's material for another video. Forget it. So, this is where... yeah, okay, I'll show. Okay, this is a little bit more of a job than expected. So, if you want to see the internals of how everything works, yeah. And please be advised that Triumph switches between Torx and Allen keys several bloody times. Okay. First thing, in order to get this out, you have to loosen that, and there's a screw behind there. This screw, that. Middle one, that. Big one in front, that. I think I'll swap them all out for the same bloody screw. And once you've done that, you have to pull this like that, give it a yank, because it's stuck there. And have a look at all the goodies in here. Yeah, so much for just a covering plate. Seems to be protecting quite a bit. So first thing, we're going to loosen that, get the indicator out of the way, loosen that, and pray I don't forget where which bolt goes. Hopefully they're not all different lengths. And once you've taken those two bolts, you are presented with this. Gotta take off a lot of crap still. Okay, these, okay, I've got double-sided tape, but also for everybody's reference, the indicator, these are the colors. So don't forget that. Okay, so this, then we have to do the other side, and then go for the fog lights. And again for my reference. These are the colors of the indicator. And that's the other side. Mind you, because of the spacing, you can move this bracket forward and backward, so to close up any gaps. But I'll show you that when I put it back together. Okay, to take this plastic off, put your finger up here, and there's here a bracket. What you do, you squeeze it open and then lift backwards. It'll pop right off. Oh, I meant to say, I have ordered the Hepco and Becker upper crash bars, or tank bars, which means this ugly thing will actually disappear. Just something. Before I forget, those of you in the aftermarket scene and you want stronger fog lamps, I mean, look at this. Dead easy to install. You have got, what is this? More than 10 centimeters, downwards not a problem. The wiring can be fit through here. And then there are just two clips here. So very easy to fit your own spotlights, if that is what you desire. And here's a little tip, what I've started doing as of today, which I should have done in my youth. Tape everything together, one side to one side. If the bolts are in the holes, tape it over so they don't get lost. And if you've got loose bolts, duct tape. Well, not duct tape, but you know what I mean. So, that's that. Anodizing and powder coating tomorrow. And what I'm going to do, because let's face it, tomorrow is Monday, and if they coat on Monday, well, this is Africa, so something will go wrong. So what I will be doing is using a bit of sunlight and water. Sunlight is dishwashing liquid, a degreaser basically. You can use a professional degreaser if you want to. Actually, I should be using that. But just to get all the oil and stains, the ingrained oil, because there's nothing worse than the coater not doing his job properly, or the phosphating not taking the oil out of the metal. It goes for powder coating, temperature, the oil sweats out of the steel and fucks up the finish. So it's just something, you know. If you want a good result, you gotta help it along yourself. Remember, nothing given freely is worth anything anymore. And I do apologize, this part of the video, if it's not full of the usual lackluster banter, innuendo, sexual misconduct, etc. It's because I'm currently battling a mental illness. So maybe the second part will be better, after an array of drugs is shot through my system rectally. And there are holes in your crash bars as well. And they're being plugged with these things. Not very effective. They're supposed to, what, stop water ingress? But they are so loose that, look, I already saw a bit of mud inside these holes with a bit of rust forming. The crash bars are a certain grade of stainless steel. They're a little bit magnetic. I don't know if it's high quality, low quality. But I'm going to have a look to see if I can find a better solution. Right, so according to the anodizer, these things are actually cast aluminum, which feature magnesium. He told me it's a pain in the arse, so he recommended powder coating. And seeing I have access to a powder coating booth and some powder, well, I powder coated them. Simple. This is a RL 9005 black semi-matte, so gloss level of 55 to 58%. Came out alright. Drawback with powder coating is orange peel. Is a bit noticeable, but that's that. The back, I put a screw in one of the holes so I could hang it, and the others I just taped over with a bit of masking tape and put it in the oven. When it comes out, the masking tape basically is coated with powder. It's like a skin, you just peel it off. It goes really quickly. And yes, I could have wet painted them, but I'm also very lazy. No, actually I'm not. I scrubbed these things with a Brillo pad and a degreaser, and then before applying acetone to clean them again and again. So I made sure these things were so clean, you have no idea, squeaky clean. And that's that. Powder coating is also nice. You just need to do the front pass where everybody sees it, and the powder actually flows around and covers the edges on the back. Now, these I've left like this because they're so low on the bike, and these, well, thought, why not? Do the back as well. Not in 100% finish, just enough, you know. So if I have an accident, people will marvel at how nice and black the bits and pieces are that flew off. Okay. The LED covers, however, those are straight aluminum pressed aluminum. So those are anodized, they're coming tomorrow. So now we're just going to install these quickly. Oh, and very important, add some silicone grease to the connectors of the indicators. You don't want to short there. And don't forget to put back the double-sided, well, cable holders. If you want to get them really clean, scrape off as much of the gunk on the back and then run them over sandpaper until you get plastic, and then use new double-sided tape. Oh, little intermission. Because I've taken the foot pegs off, and maybe you've noticed this, but most aftermarket side carriers for saddlebags, etc., they actually need your foot pegs on, which is kind of stupid. Manufacturers paying attention, hello. I usually go with soft luggage, which takes, well, the entire space in the rear for the passenger. I don't ride with passengers, hence no foot pegs. So how do you attach it? And yeah, you could go there, but you know what? I'm gonna try something else. I'll let you know how that goes. And there we go, anodizing. Not too happy with it. They messed it up a little bit. As they say, it'll polish out. Okay, next up, the crash bars. Et voila! Almost looks like the eyes have bugged out in black. Barkbusters arrived as well. Had them powder coated in black. Murder black, baby. Semi-matte, crash bars in black. You know what, Triumph? You could call this the Black Edition, if you really wanted to. There's only the matter of the subframe. They could have done that in black as well. Yeah, never mind. So, there you go. Murder blacked out. A little bit of cosmetic change. What did I learn? Make sure the bolts are tightened, especially around the plastics of the cockpit. Those were quite loose. But then again, this thing is only intended for the British backyard roads, which are finely screeded dirt roads, if at all, or bad patchy tar. Anyway, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, an easy job. There's not much I can say here. If you know how to use a wrench, you can do this very easily. Barkbusters, by the way, it's okay. You need to move the cables a little bit, but other than that, damn straight. Only thing that bothers me with the Barkbusters is it's not a universal fit. You have to go bike specific, because these Barkbusters do this kink. Oh well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed the video. And let's see what's next. Goodbye.